And so, we are the most exceptional nation in the history of the world because the Constitution is the best political document that's ever been written. And it is a negative document. The Constitution is just a list of powers that we decided to give the government. And when that list ends, the government has no further powers. The Constitution is not some list of the limited rights that the people have, because in our system, the government is limited, and the people's rights are limitless. And the founders back in Philadelphia in 1787 and 1789, they had a big, long debate about this, and they said, well, this is tough because people are always used to having their rights listed. Shouldn't we list them? And they said, no, we will not list them. We will not put the rights in the document, because if we put the rights in the document, at some point the list will end, and people will assume that is the end of their rights. And so there was a picture that they had in their mind. Imagine a tiny little island surrounded by a giant ocean. Throughout human history, people have believed that the island is your rights, and the ocean is the powers of government. And the American founders said this picture is exactly backwards. Because the island is the little set of enumerated powers that we the people give the government, and the ocean is the limitless rights of people who were created with dignity. And yet they said, wait a minute, if we don't list them at all, might people get confused? Let's list a few. And so as a compromise, they said, well, outside the document, let's add the Bill of Rights. So think about this. The first 10 amendments are not in the Constitution proper. The Constitution is just enumerated powers for the government. But then in the Bill of Rights, they said, let's list a few rights just so no one's confused. In fact, we'll start with the most important one. We'll rank order them. Okay, what should we list first? Let's list the most important thing. What's listed first? Religion and speech and press and assembly and the right of redress of grievances. It's a dog's breakfast. It's a laundry list. They couldn't list just one thing first because, again, they wanted to scream, and the structure of their document screams, all the rights are the people's. And so then when you go through the Second Amendment, near and dear to all of our hearts here, when you get to the 9th and 10th Amendment, what do they conclude by saying? There's no end to this list. The 9th and 10th Amendments say, any right not listed here is still a right for the people, and any power not given to the federal government here is still a power that the federal government doesn't have.